All right, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite stories over the past 15 years since starting NGNG in October of 2007. What a journey it has been. Really, really exciting. So I'm going to take you to about February or March of 2020. And it was a morning, just like any other morning. And I'm grabbing my coffee and I'm getting ready. And Jason, my Clay's dad, came into the kitchen that morning and he said, Amber, I need to tell you something that's going to be hard to hear. And I'm like, what is it? I've got to call. you know, those of you who know me know I'm very disciplined about my time and just I like the busyness of work. I'm so passionate about what I do. And he said, Amber, you're not going to be able to travel as much here coming up soon because the national news is about to break that we're headed into a pandemic. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And Jason is a firefighter. And so he knows information before the public does. And he tried to warn me about COVID and his prediction of what was going to happen. And of course, this was unprecedented. Nobody knew what was going to happen. But Jason is so smart and he's so logical and he's very strategic and good at predicting things. And I just remember this feeling washed over me. And when I am in the midst of crisis, I get very still and very quiet. And it's because I go into that observer mode. Like when I spoke about on the first video, my childhood, I just observed. I was very quiet as a kid, but I just observed. I observed what was happening in the news. I observed clients and team. And I just tried to honestly sort of get in tune with the energy on the planet, for lack of better words. And I remember a couple of days later on a Wednesday, I held a required company-wide meeting. And we had about 20 people on the team at that point. And I said, okay, team, I want you to know that there's this, virus out there, COVID, and it's going to spread. And there's a lot of theories about what's going to happen, and there are going to be people that panic and go stock up on food and supplies. There are people that won't do that. We don't really know what's going to happen, but here's what I want you to know. I want you to know that I am not scared. I want you to know that your jobs are safe. You are safe, and I am here to do everything in my power to protect you. I can feel the emotion of that moment. That meeting, everybody was so quiet. And they were just hanging on my every word. And I just said, I have navigated crisis before. I'm very strong in crisis. And we are going to be here for our clients, and we're going to keep moving forward no matter what happens. The next day, I had a call with my mentor, Ken, at the time. And again, just this very still feeling around me. And I said, Ken, I got an idea. I feel like I'm supposed to go live. And this is at a time where I wasn't doing a lot of active marketing in the company because our word of mouth has been so strong that I haven't really needed to go do front facing marketing. And I was just trying to keep, stability to our company's growth. But I said, Ken, I think I need to go live. And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I think I'm going to go live on social media. And maybe what I could do is pull in some of the big names of people, big time speakers and business owners that I know, and just interview them and hold space for people. Now, part of me is remembering back to Authentic Business Success Summit when I interviewed some of my big name speaker friends, and it didn't work out so well in the very beginning, but I thought this time is different because I'm not looking to monetize. It's not a launch. It's not a big production. I'm not going to be selling anything. I'm just going to hold space for humanity. Ken said, I think you need to do that. The next day is now Friday. And I went to my team and I said, I'm putting on a series. I'm going to call it the Elevate series. We're going live Monday. Let's go. And I worked all weekend. I set up back-end web pages. I did outreach to speakers. We had 40 speakers in different industries all over the place. And I just said, I need a favor. I want to interview you. We're going live. I want to talk about what people should be doing, both professionally and personally during this time, coping mechanisms. What do we do with homeschooling families? I mean, the news was like just starting to get out about COVID. And I'm already like, we got to do this. We got to do this. So, Monday, we went live. We had like a little 3-way panel interview followed by another one-on-one interview. And over the next 2 weeks, I did many interviews and we just live streamed the whole event. We used StreamYard. You can still see them up on YouTube today. And what an incredible experience that was. Halfway through, I lost my voice. I got laryngitis, which actually was a symptom of COVID. I didn't realize I had gotten COVID in January. I just thought it was pneumonia. But January of 2020, I went to the emergency room twice. And I said, I'm really very, very, very sick. I was sick for 7 weeks. And I was in and out of the hospital, doctor, They were doing chest x-rays. I remember one in particular. I was sitting in the waiting room in the front of the hospital, and they took me back to get an x-ray and then put me back in the waiting room because the hospital was at such capacity, there was no room for me. So I had to sit in the waiting room and everybody's coughing and super sick all around me. And I'm like, what is going on? The doctor came back and he said, you don't have pneumonia. I don't know what you have. You have whatever else other people have. We don't know what it is. Here's some antibiotics. I don't even know if they're going to work for you. Good luck. And sent me packing. I had to do 2 rounds of antibiotics to just get to that point of about 7 weeks later, feeling like I was over whatever that was. But I had rolling symptoms for probably the next 4 months. Colds, laryngitis, just different things were happening. My body was adjusting. I can't verify it was COVID. I just really think it was. And so I'm in the middle of this Elevate series. My throat goes out. I have no voice whatsoever. Do you think that stopped me? No. I literally took Post-it notes and I would have a heart for when, people said something on the interview that I loved. I'd be flashing my heart or thumbs up. I would pre-write some interview questions. I had to get a co-host to ask the questions to the speaker for me while I'm sitting in the room, engaging and chatting with people. It was amazing, that Elevate series. And we never once had a call to action, didn't sell anything. It was just about connection, which is my deepest purpose on this planet, is to help people go back to trusting each other and connecting with one another and being open and stop being so closed and judgmental and mean and, vindictive and all of these resentful, all of these things that people are feeling. And I'm not even saying it's not rightfully so, but I really want to go back to something that is much more loving wherever I can spread that message. And the Elevate series did that. Well, it also did a couple of other things, because on the back end of that 2-week event, boom, I mean, the word just spread and people were so impressed with that production and with whatever I had done during the interview series that I got 16 speaking gigs booked like that. We opened up a new service because people said, I want to do a live stream show. I want to do a live stream show. So we temporarily opened up a live streaming division in NGNG, and we started doing these shows. And there are some very big names in big industries that launched shows underneath what NGNG's service offering was, and saw remarkable results with live streaming, engagement skyrocketing, platforms growing, people were monetizing, businesses were starting. It was a really exciting time. And NGNG, just in that division, month 1 grossed over $100,000. And it was just incredible. And I was just trying to keep up with all of the activity that was happening. And that really was the catalyst. That moment was the catalyst that then NGNG grew 85% that year. We had our first $1 million year. And then into 2021, we kept going. I mean, that momentum kept riding up. And in 2021, we grew by another 85% and had our first $2 million year. And it was chaos. It was exciting. It was successful. We launched so many books and changed countless lives. I mean, I look back in the last 2 years, and personally, it was a very challenging time for me. I was going through a divorce, which was a conscious uncoupling, but still, I was moving. I was still trying to figure out parenting. I'm trying to figure out how to have self-care, you know, the stuff that everybody has to deal with. But I was like, just kind of trying to juggle all the balls. Meanwhile, this business was just growing like crazy. We scaled up to a team of 38 people, and it was successful. We had leadership in place. We had accountability in place. We were profitable. And there were all sorts of issues that occurred too. There was a lot of stress and conflict that we were always on top of resolving internally. But externally, we kept, protecting the reputation of the company and just doing the absolute best that we could. Our clients first, service first, impact first, being genuine, really wanting to connect and help people, educate the marketplace. The changes that we've made inside of the publishing industry are incredible. The online marketing community, what we've done with Leverage to Scale and helping to empower businesses to run in a self-sufficient and profitable manner. I mean, just like, wow, what a ride that was. And at the end of it, I was completely exhausted. So I feel like we climbed the mountain and we looked around and we did things that so few, especially service-based companies, could ever do, especially custom service-based companies. I mean, a lot of agencies at some point have to do a cookie cutter service just to try to stay efficient and profitable. We are custom-based websites and branding, custom book launches that are very complex, but it's because we want to help build businesses, not just do a quick little service here and there. We're making incredible change in people's lives. And for me, it's all about the impact, because if I get to work with somebody like Justin Donald, I'm looking at him, the lifestyle investor. Justin had no platform when we started working with him. And then he grew this massive multi-million dollar company just year one of his business. And he continues to scale up and impact so many people's lives and give people genuine financial freedom. And it's not skeezy, it's rooted in pure goodness and consciousness. I'm so proud of Justin and all of our clients back here. So I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful 15 years into this business for the great times, the hard times, the people that came and left. I had a company meeting a couple of months ago, and we sat and honored all of the people that were on the team that were no longer currently active in the team, but I played piano music and we said their name out loud and just took a moment to honor them. And how unusual is that a company would even do that? But for me, every single client, including the first one, Kate, who took a chance on me and asked me to work on her website, every single person that has interacted, every single kind email from people that never, ever hired us, it all got us here. And I'm resting in total gratitude. It's July of 2022. And I just want to thank you for spending this many minutes and following this journey. I'm going to do one last video that's going to account for what's happened in 2022 and where we're headed, in case you're curious. And I just appreciate you being on the journey with me. Thank you. No guts, no glory. See you on the next one.